What's up, y'all, and welcome to our Spring 2025 Commencement pre-show where we are live, and we are so excited, and we're going to dive right in with our first guest, who is our graduate commencement speaker. So give a warm Jaguar welcome virtually to Mr. Stephen Jones. Thank you for being here, Stephen.
Thank you for having me.
Super excited to chat with you really quickly. And just diving right in, your journey has taken you from Augusta to Albany to Macon, and now back to Augusta. So what does it feel like to be graduating from your hometown?
This is an awesome moment. It's very emotional. It's very emotional coming back here to graduate. I started school here, C.T. Walker. Okay. Then I left C.T. Walker and went to Helpsville High School, left to go to Albany State, moved to Macon, and now to get my degree, my doctoral degree from Augusta University is like a cherry on top.
I love that. And you served as a principal from every level, elementary, middle, high. Which one of those levels have taught you the most patience?
The most patience. You know, it's funny. There, as I think about it, all of the students pretty much have the same emotion. They're just a little taller. They're just a little taller. The things that they say in elementary school now, they are still the same way in high school. They're still the same way in middle school. Now, we'll say middle school, probably middle school. You need more patience. Yeah, now that I think about it, middle school, you definitely need a lot of patience to move those middle school students.
Yeah, I think middle school was a time where everybody had their moment.
Yes,
needed
yes,
a little extra patience.
They're very confused. Very confused.
And switching gears a little bit, and just in reading your bio, I came across the hashtag Eastside Out Loud, and it became a movement in Macon. So do you mind sharing with our viewers what that was all about? Sure.
I had the awesome privilege of working in East Macon in elementary, middle, and high school. And one of the things I noticed when I went back in middle school at Appling, there was a lot of negative talk, a lot of stereotyping. So we started talking about, we came up with the term East Side Pride, Raider Pride. Then we moved up to the high school, it was still a lot of negativity. And so what we realized is that people need to understand the greatness that lies in East Macon. So we began telling our own story. It's a poor frog that won't croak for his own pond. So we started telling the story every day about the good things that were going on, and people would post hashtag Eastside Out Loud just to show, and it flooded the internet, and they're still doing great now, new leadership, and they're still going to another level, and I just love it.
I love that, and I love seeing the impact even after you've left there. Like you mentioned, the leadership is still taking pride in that.
Yes, sir.
But also thinking of things that bring you pride, your daughter Kennedy is also graduating at this point in a couple of days.
Yes, yes.
So what's that like to be able to celebrate that milestone together?
It's awesome. I just sat back. Yesterday was an honors day, and I just sat back and just looked at her as she walked across the stage, and I just thought about all of the activities that she's participated in from pre-K all the way up until her 12th grade year. And now she's going on to college. She'll be attending Fort Valley State. She has some big things that are planned there. And just to see everything that she's done leading up to her becoming an honor graduate, I'm ecstatic about that.
So graduation season for you guys is definitely a family affair. Who do you think is going to be cheering the loudest for you today?
Who will be cheering the loudest? Well, it would probably be Kennedy.
Okay.
It would probably be Kennedy. Kennedy would probably be really ecstatic. She doesn't say too much, but I know she's really, really proud of this particular moment. My sister says she's going to probably scream the loudest, but okay. I'm pretty sure.
So we'll be sure to keep our ears out for
yes.
who's screaming the loudest for you.
Yes.
And as someone who has helped turn around schools and is now helping principals do that same thing, what is one lesson you think that every educator should carry with them?
One lesson is be flexible enough until you find the solution. Be flexible enough. You know, you put a practice in place, you continue to try it, and if it doesn't work, be flexible enough to try something else. But every child deserves the right to learn to read and to be successful, and you do everything you have to make that opportunity happen for every child.
I love that, and as we know, literacy is extremely important. It
yes.
definitely creates a pathway to success, so that's very valuable. And I also read that you were dedicating your doctorate to some of your late family members.
Yes, yes.
How have their legacies impacted you and just kind of your leadership style?
Both of my parents were educators here in the Bibb County. In Richmond County, and they both retired from this same city. All five of us, we attended public schools here in Richmond County, and so my parents wanted the best, and they wanted the best for us. And she would always talk about, you can just believe the promises over whatever the problems are. You still have to be an overcomer. You still got to get in and overcome. And so me going back to earn this doctorate degree here in this city means just that much more, because I remember what my dad would say to push me. I remember what my mom would say. And so I dedicated this degree to my mom, my dad, and my brother, Russell.
Thank you for sharing that. And before we let you go, I want you to finish this sentence. Walking across that stage today means?
It means, wow, that's a big statement. Walking across the stage today, it doesn't mean the world, because there's still a lot more for me to do, but it shows overcoming. It means that I can do all things through Christ. Walking across that stage means that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Thank you so much for chatting with us. Congratulations again for graduating. And yeah, we're looking forward to hear what you have to say and walk across that stage.
Thank you, sir.
All right, y'all, stay tuned because we got more coming up when we come back. And we're back, you guys, with Jerica Childers, who is actually taking the oath of office today, later in the ceremony, and we're going to talk to her a little bit about her experiences. So give another Jaguar welcome to Ms. Jerica. How's it going?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Super excited. And just getting started, you served in our country, for our country for over 15 years, and now you're taking the oath of office at the ceremony. How does it feel to share that moment with your fellow graduates and supporters?
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking,
Okay.
I'll tell you that. But serving 15 years as an enlisted service member and then making this transition into an officer is a huge step for me. It's a great achievement. I'm super proud of myself. I don't get to say that often, but I'm so excited to do it, and even more excited to be able to do it in front of my fellow graduates.
Well, we're excited for you, and we're very proud of you, by the way.
Thank you.
So you've had to balance military service, graduate studies, the list goes on. How did you manage it all, and how did it just kind of keep you motivated?
So I'm a mother of 2 boys.
Okay.
I think that really prepared me. Honestly, just staying focused. I write down a lot of lists. I use my planner. I've probably ran through 4 pens and all the ink, writing down in my planner. Just staying organized has really helped me maintain everything that I have going on.
And I also saw recently that you were able to attend AU's Capitol Day earlier this year. What was that like, being able to go to the Capitol?
That was something that I will never forget. I'm so happy to have been chosen from my administration team to go, but just the experience there, it meant the world to me to be inside of the Capitol building while session was taking place. It was an awesome experience, and I tell everybody about it. I'll never forget it, that's for sure.
Is there any particular highlight that just stood out to you from that moment?
I think just sitting in on the sessions as the legislators were discussing bills and sitting in there as they were voting on them and passing from one delegation to the next, just really seeing government in action, it tied my degree all together. And so it was definitely, I called it a field trip. And I think being a public administrator, it was a full circle moment, being able to do that and see everything taking place. Government in action, that's all I could say.
Yeah, and I love that you had that experience. And kind of going off of that, you chose to get your MPA. What drew you to public service, and what do you hope to do with that after you walk across the stage today?
Yeah, so I still owe the Army about another 10 years after I graduate and commission tonight. But I think that the leadership experience that I've gained, the knowledge of even the classes like statistics, which probably was my least favorite of all the courses that I had to take, but I just think that all that information that I learned over these last 4 semesters, I'll be able to apply it in the Army, being in a leadership and managerial role. I don't know exactly what I'll do when I'm done with my Army's commitment, but I definitely look forward to maybe participating in or even starting a nonprofit.
I love that.
Yeah.
So graduation day is emotional, and this one, of course, is going to hit a little bit differently for you. Just out in the crowd, or thinking about the crowd, who's out here supporting you today? What do you think that moment means for them?
Everybody is here for me.
Yes, I love it.
No, but today in the crowd, I have my 2 boys, Chaniel and Owen, my husband Mark, and my mom is here. She got here from Virginia this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's exciting. Can't wait to hear them cheer for you.
I'm sure they'll be the loudest ones here.
And if any, what advice would you give anyone who's currently active or a veteran who's thinking about going back to school?
Do it. No hesitation. The Army's going to pay for it. Take advantage of it. Do it.
Love that. So for today, I want you to finish this sentence. Today's oath, this degree, and this moment represents
hard work, dedication, perseverance, resilience. There's so many things that this represents today, but really it's just a actual physical product of all of the hard work I put in, not just in these last 2 years to get my degree, but all of the time in the Army that I had prior to this.
Well, thank you so much for being here and chatting with us.
Thank you.
We can't wait to see you walk across that stage and take that oath right after.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, y'all, we got one more interview, so stay tuned because we'll be right back. Welcome back, y'all, and we are back with our final guest of this evening, very special guest. She is an assistant professor from the College of Allied Health Sciences, and she's an alum from the class of 2010. So give one final warm Jaguar welcome to Megan Mobley. How's it going?
Good.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So you walked across the stage before, and now you're back here as a professor and an alum. What is it like seeing commencement from both sides, from both angles?
It's very humbling to now be on faculty in the program that I graduated from just 15 years ago. But I love it. I love cheering the students on and supporting them, especially as they walk across that stage tonight.
It's always exciting. So take us back to your student days for a second, and what was some of your favorite memories from being a student here at AU?
I love all the different healthcare professionals student programs that they have on campus. So really interacting with students in the PA program, OT program, medical program, just because ultimately I was going to go graduate and work in a hospital and work with all those professions. So that's one thing that I really remember.
And what would you say surprised you the most about working back at your alma mater compared to when you were a student?
I don't know. I think our culture is still the same. It's a small little family that loves and supports each other. Yeah.
I love that. For me, I always joke with my friends, there's always the new buildings and oh, where was this when I was a student? Especially now with the parking deck, this would have been great on the health sciences campus when we were running around.
True. I guess the green space over there where the dental college and medical college is, that's all brand new from when I was a student. But the building we're in is the exact same one I was in.
Nice.
Yeah.
So with being a physical therapist and you're also training the next generation in our College of Allied Health Sciences, what would you say when it comes to teaching, especially teaching in something you're so skilled in, what's the most rewarding part?
I think hearing their stories when they spend their third year out in the clinic and in the hospital, treating their own patients with a clinical instructor, just hearing them come back and share stories. And even today we had our department PT brunch where they're taking a job and just the beginning of their career and what the future holds. It's exciting. Yeah.
And what advice would you give to any students who are wanting to pursue a fulfilling career, especially if it's in healthcare?
Healthcare is a great place to love and serve people. I picked physical therapy. I love it because we spend so much one-on-one time with patients. We have that ability and luxury, really, to see patients for a long period of time. So I definitely would consider that as a profession, but the other healthcare ones are great too. My husband's a nurse, so we're a little medical family.
So I guess switching gears to the alumni side of things, because you stay connected to the university in a couple of different ways, but why would you say it's important for our newest alums to do the same?
Our students love to have community PTs come back into the classroom and hear patient stories and just see a new face that also is out in the community treating patients. And there's just a lot of ways to give back. So as you get into your area of physical therapy, you can come back as guest lecturer, you can help us in labs. We do interviews for the next future physical therapy class. So there's a lot of different ways where you can help serve and give of your time in our program.
I like that. And what are some ways you would say new grads can start giving back to the university, even if they're moving away from Augusta after this?
You can come visit us at Alumni Weekend. It's always fun. Being a part of our alumni board that we have for the College of Allied Health Sciences, and then even making donations to the College of Allied Health Sciences or other colleges, but to help give scholarships to our current students to financially support them on their future profession.
Because of course that definitely does make a difference.
Yeah.
And just last question before I let you go, what does being a part of the Jaguar alumni family mean to you personally?
I've loved to see how much it's grown over the years in a good way. this is where I grew up, so it really is. It feels like home, even at work in our program. So, but I love to see how we're growing in a good way and adding programs to this university.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see you process with the rest of our faculty. Any final thoughts before I let you go?
I don't think so. Thanks for having me. It's always, I'm excited for all the students graduating today, and it's going to be fun to watch them cross the stage.
Yes, I'm excited and I can't wait to watch. So thank you all for joining our graduate commencement pre-show. We're right before the ceremony begins. You can probably already hear the music behind us getting started. So we're about to run downstairs to see some hands getting shaken, some degrees getting handed out, and all the other fun stuff. So thank y'all so much, and we will actually see you guys tomorrow morning for our undergraduate ceremony. So thank you again, Megan, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Go Jags!